Alright, I made it. Now I just need to go to the kitchen to record our new collaboration video. No admittance except on party business. Huh, that's weird. I wonder if the collaboration video counts as party business. Guess there's one way to find out.
Who goes there?
It's me!
Speak friend and enter.
Speak friend, what? I have Malons about to go bad out here.
What do you mean, Malons?
I'm here for the party.
Welcome, friends.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to this month's video, where today I am joined by the amazing and talented...
Hello everyone, my name is Chef Emerick. I have collabed with Jen on 2 other videos, the Red Ball Feast and the Tim Burton inspired dishes. I am excited to be back in the kitchen with my big sister on a new adventure culinary delight.
Yes, and we're excited to have you back on the channel. Tell me, what will we be cooking this time?
Today we are adventuring into the world of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. We are also going to be talking about movies directed by Peter Jackson, and we are going to be doing famous foods such as Lembas bread, sweet honey and fruit treats, and also hearty meals with meats and vegetables in them.
Sounds good, and I'm glad that I'm not wandering this journey alone, where it's going to be tasty, it's going to be delicious. So let's go ahead, wash our hands, grab our aprons, preheat that oven, and get started. As always, we begin the night before with our prep. So what will we be prepping first?
So first things first, we're going to be doing the roast beef for tomorrow's night's feast. So it is we call it Baylan's roast beef. The link for the description is below. It is something a little different. I've never actually made this recipe before, so it's going to be really tasty.
I'm so excited. So what will you be doing and what will I be doing?
So you are going to be measuring out all of our spices, and I'm going to be doing the wet ingredients. And all it is half a cup of red wine. You can use regular red wine or you can use red wine vinegar, and half a cup of apple juice for your liquids. And then we have all of our seasonings, so if you want to go ahead and start all that. And we need 1.5 teaspoons, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon.
And now you only have half a teaspoon, so how many half a teaspoons in a teaspoon?
2.
There you go.
There's a half cup of those. It's got 2 of those. And then you need
Breaking things.
1 teaspoon of allspice.
So 1 teaspoon?
Yep, 1 teaspoon. And then half a teaspoon of cloves, so you just need 1 scoop of cloves. And then we need 1.5 teaspoons of salt, which is 3 of those. Well, the salt's going to break down the meat and it's going to make it extra tender. Salt breaks down the enzymes in beef.
3 of those.
And then 1 teaspoon of black pepper.
It's better than a spoon. I haven't seen one of these since like daycare.
I know. But they don't always work for the half teaspoons. All right, there we go. You get that a stir. I'm going to go ahead and get the beef open.
It smells really good.
Oh, I love cinnamon. Cinnamon toast on an October morning. Alright, so I'm going to put the meat in the bag. If you can get out 2 bay leaves for me. The recipe calls for 1, but I'm going to do 2. Give it a little flavor. Yep. And just stick them in the bag. Add our seasoning mix. Now, some people can do this in a container. You can do this in baggies, whatever floats your boat. Okay. Into that. And Jen, if you want to give it a nice good shake, get it all marinating, I'm going to go wash my hands. Well.
Alright. How'd I do, Chef?
Ooh, looks yummy. Alright, we're going to stick this in the fridge, and then tomorrow we'll just pop it in the slow cooker and it'll be good to go. Alrighty, our meat is in the fridge. It's now resting. And now we are going to be making the bacon cheddar scones for tomorrow's tea party.
Yes.
So in our bowl, we have 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon, half a teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and a tablespoon of baking powder. So if we're going to go ahead and give that a quick little stir, you can just use your hands and go ahead and just, there you go.
They're just cold. I was expecting that. It's like snow on the mountain.
It's already. And then, well, as soon as she gets that done, I want to take off your rings.
Oh, do I need to?
Yeah.
Make me take off my rings. Where's Smeagol?
Whoopsie. Sorry, precious. All right, and then we're gonna add 4 tablespoons of butter, which we're gonna cut into. You want to go ahead and do that, or do you want me to do it? I use my fingers. I like
I'm
using.
a knife person. One of these days, I will get a pastry
cutter. I had one, but I used it so much it broke.
Oh, so much baking.
Well, that's what happens when you're a baker. You make so much for people, and I like making stuff for my neighbors too. Alrighty, so we're just cutting this in, getting all the little crumbs. You gotta make sure it looks like pea size, which this is almost ready. And now a trick that I like to do, because sometimes you do still have like those big chunks of butter still left in there, I like to give this a little shake. Not like hard where like it's gonna go poof, but just enough to where you can see see how there's more like big chunks and stuff. That way you can get more out of this, and that way there's butter in every single bite.
Sounds like the perfect scone.
Alrighty, so this is looking great. Now we're gonna go ahead and add our chives, our bacon, which is 1 cup of bacon, half a cup of cheddar cheese shredded, and what was it, a couple tablespoons of chives?
Yeah, a couple.
give or take. So we'll go ahead and add all of it, all of that loveliness.
Wow.
Ooh, it smells good. Smell that chives.
Smell that.
Okay, there we go. All right, now we just need to add some heavy whipping cream. You want to go ahead and do that.
And how much do we need?
It says about 3/4 of a cup, but I just start adding, just add a little bit at a time.
I'm just gonna pour it in.
Yep, just pour it in, and I'll tell
say
you
when.
All right, we'll start right there. You don't want to add too much liquid where it's gonna, be all sticky and stuff, but you want to add just enough to where it's gonna be a cohesive dough. All right, go ahead and add a little more. Starting to come a little bit of dough. All right, go ahead.
I think this is my first time making flavored scones. Usually I do plain scones and then I'll do
I remember
strawberry jam or jelly.
I remember us doing flavored scones with our Aunt Mia one time.
Yeah, we did.
The chocolate.
That was the last time I ever did.
My favorite was still the rose water ones. Those were good.
Yeah, I eat flavored scones like blueberry, cranberry, orange is always my favorite, but
I like pumpkin scones, and I just made orange scones for a client, so. Okay, yeah, definitely gonna need some more. Let's see what that does. It says about 3/4 of a cup, so.
Maybe half a cup?
Give or take, yeah. Alright. Yeah, definitely gonna need more. But it's a good thing, oh, that's cool,
Maybe too much.
Actually, that might be enough. Maybe. Ooh, there we go.
It's doing.
It's doing. It's doing.
It's doing.
Okay. If you want to, can you lift the bowl so I can take all this goodness out?
There she be. So different.
It's very
kind of exciting.
I've made these types of scones before. I've never really made bacon scones for a while, so. Well, I tried it eat healthy, so.
Then I come up here and I'm just like, I have ideas on healthy food.
Well, I can have a cheat day once a month.
Today is that day.
It is that day. But it is not this day, which is every other day of the month. Okay. There we go. So this dough is kind of weird. I think we should have added more milk to it. But what I'm going to do is, if you can just hand me a knife, what I'm going to do is shape it into a log. I'm going to shape it. Okay. Just shape it into a log, and then we'll just cut them. Never done it this way before?
No, I just make a ball and then roll it out.
Roll it out? Yeah, go ahead.
I want one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my gosh, I feel so different. Ooh.
I think because of all the bacon and stuff, they're kind of crummy, but
Crummy. They have feelings.
well, the
Yeah.
flour and stuff.
So are we doing rounded or are we doing triangles?
Whatever floats your boat. We can do triangles. It's cute.
Do triangles? How do we do triangles? What's a triangle?
What's a triangle, precious?
What's a triangle?
All right. I honestly think we'll just make them different shapes, and as long as they're all the same thickness, so that way they bake cohesively, I think they'll be fine.
And this is a disc. So
A
maybe
disc.
we'll do disc.
Yeah.
Like frisbee.
Frisbee. Frisbee! Okay. Oh, and then once you have them done, slap them on your prepared tray. And that is it. Alrighty, the scones are flattened out. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take a little bit of heavy whipping cream, just a little bit. And we are going to brush the tops, like so. And then Jen, if you want to add some chives on top, that way it gives it a little bit of color. And looks pretty.
Oh. Was it? Because we did it this way. Yeah, I kind of want to. I trimmed my nails too.
I trimmed mine the other day, so. Just use a knife. There you go.
I don't know. You know what? It's fine. Here.
That works too. That works too. Pretty.
One more. Good luck.
Alrighty, perfect. Now we're just going to stick these in the oven at 400 degrees for about 15-20 minutes or until golden brown.
That's it. See you in a bit.
Alrighty, the scones are in the oven and they smell delicious. And now we are going to be making Beorn's honey cakes. Now, I'm going to be measuring out the dry ingredients, and my sous chef Jen is going to be measuring out the wet ingredients. So first things first, I'm going to measure out the flour and everything like that. Jen, if you want to go ahead. All right, so for Jen, you need half a cup of veggie oil, and I need 2.5 cups of flour.
is so much bigger than what I have at home. Half cup.
Okay. Alright, next you need half a teaspoon of vanilla. I would just pour some in, and I'll
I'm
tell
a
you.
measurer, not like some people. Oh, it's brand new.
Okay. I thought I had one open, I guess not. Alright, flour's measured. Oh,
Those are gorgeous.
it smells so good. It's like the bacon, just like.
You want to bring them on screen real quick? Bring them.
Pause. We pause this honey cake mix to show you some delicious
It
scones.
smells so good. And you putting them closer to my face isn't helping.
Okay. Got your eggs in there and your vanilla. Better catch up to Jen. Okay. Next, I need 1 tablespoon of baking powder. All right.
And then 1 cup of orange juice.
Yep.
Should I still use this though? I just
Yeah.
have the oil.
Yeah, that's just in case of like, if you're missing some oil or something, it's right there. Okay, let's see. 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm winging it.
Let's see. 1 cup of honey. Who gets the honey?
That's. Yep, you get the honey.
I don't know.
Yep, just pour it in there. That'll be fine.
A little more than that.
If we run out of honey, we also have some agave too.
A little hungry.
Okay. Alright, so you go ahead and stir that up. I'm almost done over on my end. Now I just need 3/4 cup of brown sugar. Can I have the 1/4 cup, please? Thank you. Okay.
How does that look?
That looks delish.
Just don't. It has
Yeah.
eggs. and
Yeah,
stuff
no
in it.
salmonella. No
Yeah,
salmonella.
Salmonella.
Okay, so we got our dry mixed in with our wet, and I'm gonna use your sturdier whisk to mix in that. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna combine our wet ingredients in with our dry ingredients, and we're gonna stir it until it becomes a homogeneous dough.
A little bit of time or everything.
Everything. Dump her in. Okay. And Jen, would you be able to spray the pan that we're going to be using for the honey cakes?
Sure.
It's up in the cabinet. Ooh, pretty. Okay. There you go.
There we go.
Always clean as you go.
Yep. Location clean.
Dough looks good. Now we're just going to pour it into our pan. And I actually like this bowl because it has that little bit of a lip or spout.
I'm gonna hold steady for you.
No, you're fine. I just don't want to elbow you.
Fine. Elbow me. Baking or honey glaze. But did you drop the oven temp to 350?
Not yet.
Can I do it?
There you go.
Yay! I'm not supervised.
You may want, once you get those 4 done, see about adding a little more to the first couple.
Okay.
I think this will be big enough. The sauce, the glaze.
The glass.
How to cool your oven down, 101. Oh, pretty, 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 pretty.
Definitely have some dough left over, but that was a bit overfilled.
Hold on, I got something that'll help.
I wonder what we should do with this leftover dough. You have like a mini pan?
I got something even better.
No, it's fine. I do the same thing. I do the exact same thing.
Easier to get them out.
Yeah, we gotta.
Ugh.
He's a little bit good.
Alright. Should have enough for 2 there.
Take this. This is for later tonight. Midnight snack.
Taste tester.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I actually do want to taste test them before. See what they would taste like warm and right out with the sauce. Hey, alrighty, well we had a little extra batter, so we're also making a little snack for later. So these are going to go in the oven at 350 for about 15 to 18 minutes or until golden brown, or you insert a toothpick and they come out clean.
Okay.
Alrighty, we got the honey cakes in the oven, so now we are going to make a honey orange glaze for the cakes. So in my saucepan, I'm going to add 1 cup of orange juice, 1 cup of water, about 3/4 cup of honey. Now I didn't really have that much honey for us, so I'm using agave, which I like because it's not as sweet. A little bit of cinnamon, about 2 teaspoons, but I ended up adding a tablespoon, so oops. And then 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. Okay. So now we're just gonna mix this up together, and we're gonna get it nice and hot and wait until it's all mixed together. Alrighty, we got all of our honey cakes out of the oven and we got them out of the pan. Unfortunately, it looks like some of the hobbits decided to snack on them early. But so what we're going to do next is we are going to take a toothpick and we are going to just poke holes in them. Poke. Bag. Alrighty. Next, we get to do the drizzle. You want to do it? You want to do that one?
This one. All right, here we go.
Oop. Well, that one's gonna be extra cinnamon. That's why we put the pan down in the plastic wrap. Make it easier to clean up. Yours actually look better than mine.
No, mine looks lighter.
Well, that's because you don't have as much cinnamon as I did.
Oh yeah, because the cinnamon went to the bottom of the pan.
Unfortunately, but it's really good. Here, you want to pick some of that and put it on these couple? These will probably be for me because hubby does not like that much cinnamon. He says I over cinnamon my French toast every time. Alrighty, so we're gonna let these cool for about 10 more minutes. Then we're gonna package them up, and that's pretty much it for Friday's prep.
Yay, we're all done with prep, so we'll see you in the morning for breakfast. Good morning, everyone. We're back in the kitchen this morning, about to make breakfast. Speaking of which, what will we be having for breakfast today?
For breakfast, we are having cinnamon mini muffins, and a fresh fruit salad, as well as some coffee, because I need coffee to wake up.
Yes, so let's go ahead and grab aprons and get started. Okay. Most of the ingredients are off screen, but we do have them, so we're going to be measuring and baking and everything. So.
Alrighty, so Jen is going to be making the streusel for the muffins. I'm going to be making the muffin batter. And so Jen, you go ahead and start working on that.
Okay, the milk butter.
Alrighty, we have all of our ingredients mixed out. So in my bowl, I have 3/4 cup of butter softened. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to cream 3/4 cup butter with 1 cup of sugar. In Jen's bowl, she has 1½ cups of flour, 3/4 cup of light brown sugar, and 1½ tablespoons of cinnamon. And she's just going to mix the butter in with that, and she's going to make a crumb topping on top of the muffins. And I am going to start creaming.
God,
Sorry.
damn.
Okay, so the butter and sugar are creamed together. Jen had to move out of the camera because butter was flying.
Scared for my life.
Oh, that looks good.
I was thinking more like a crumbly topping, like coffee cake. This thing is giving me a workout. 7:20 in the morning. It's
I
fine
could
now.
probably add some more flour to it.
We don't want it too dry though.
True.
I'm just gonna stick with the recipe at hand.
Alright. So now I'm going to add my eggs and vanilla. I have 2 eggs and about a tablespoon of vanilla. I never measure. Okay. Got my...
Just to let it sit and dry out for a minute. So I'm just
Okay.
gonna
So that'll dry
let it
out.
sit and marinate.
Alright. Now I'm going to add 2/3 cup of sour cream.
Start washing berries.
Yum. I did not dirty up more dishes. Just take the whisk attachment off. The vibration is kind of hurting my hands. It's a good little thing, but I really need to get a hand mixer.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, sour cream's in. Now I'm just going to add my dry ingredients, which is 2 cups of flour, 1½ teaspoons of half teaspoon of baking soda, 1½ teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, and that is it. So I'm going to add half the dry ingredients in now.
I'm just cutting up strawberries.
And half the dry ingredients now. Or I can just wear half the dry ingredients.
Oh yes, the contest for the most dirtiest apron. Right now I have the hand. Actually, mine kind of looks like a apron now too, kind of, sort of.
Now I'm adding 1/4 cup of buttermilk. I make my own buttermilk. It's just, milk, and you can either add vinegar or lemon juice to it. Okay, just gonna add the rest of the dry ingredients. Last little bit. Okay, batter is done. Alrighty, so we have our muffin batter ready. So what we're going to do next is we are going to divvy it up into our lined cupcake tin. So just get a little scoop and schmooch.
It's fighting back.
Oh, no, they're supposed to go into the tins. Oh, it's okay, it's okay. There you go.
Failing miserably.
Mini muffins are kind of hard. You have to have a lot of patience for mini muffins.
Oh my gosh, they just
I got it.
over.
Here,
Dripping
let
muffins.
me push them down a little bit for you.
Oh yeah, there we go. Gotta tuck them in.
Yeah,
Tuck in
there
our
we go.
little dwarves and hobbits. We have our
Tuck the
elves over
hobbits
here.
into bed. So there's that. Now we're gonna do the big one next because we still have a ton of muffin batter. I think I just blew my sister's mind. And this thing comes in handy when you're making 36 cupcakes at once. Some people like using the ice cream scoop. Some people like using spoons. Me, I like my little tool. And I think we just have enough. There we go. Yay!
What's next?
All right, now we just take just a little bit of the streusel topping and so it was a little harder. It's a little chunkier than we thought. So just put a little on. I'll do the big ones. You want to do the small ones? Sure.
Reminds me of the kinetic sand at work.
That stuff's awesome to mess with. There we go. Perfect. Alrighty, so we have all of our streusel topping on top of our muffins. We're going to put these in the oven at 350 for about 10 to 15 minutes or until they're golden brown.
So we got our breakfast all ready to go with muffins and fruit salad. Smells really, really good in here.
Yummy.
So go ahead and do muffins. Oh wait, we should
Cheers!
muffins.
Oh. And they're so warm right now, just out of the...
Really good.
They are very good. They're very soft, very fluffy, super, super light.
Works out. So, and as always, we always have open-ended questions for us and then for viewers out there. With our first one being, what is your favorite Lord of the Rings movie and Hobbit movie?
Oh, that's a hard one. I do love them all, but I would say my favorite Lord of the Rings is going to be Two Towers. Favorite Hobbit movie is Desolation of Smaug.
Yeah, I was going to say Desolation of Smaug was definitely one of my favorites. And Lord of the Rings movie, The Return of the King. That last battle scene is epic.
I don't like Return of the King. I just don't like the spider scene.
Oh, yeah, well, we skipped that part. We know that.
We just fast forward it. Sorry, Elijah Wood.
So, we're going to finish eating breakfast, and we'll see you all in a bit. Can you make some hash browns?
We just ate.
We had one breakfast, yes, but what about second breakfast? Here you go. Alright, we are back. We are going to be making the famous Lembas bread from the movie. So
We have 2.5 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt in our big bowl. We also have 1/3 cup of brown sugar with 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and we have 2/3 of a cup of heavy whipping cream and vanilla, and one stick of butter. So what we're going to do now is we're going to mix all of the dry ingredients together. Do all that together. So we're going to mix all that together. While she's doing that, I'm going to cut up the butter. Now we're going to just add our butter to this. So now we're going to mix the butter in. You're going to basically what we did earlier with the scones. It's basically we're doing the same thing. Making it pea size and things like that. Yep. Alrighty, so this part is all finished, which looks amazing. Now we're going to go ahead and add the brown sugar and cinnamon next. I've never anticipated all the cinnamon and stuff in the brown sugar for this. Now for the fun part, and you get to do this part. go ahead and mix all that together. Add all that. And then do you want to go ahead and stir it to get it into a ball? I'm going to go wash my hands. Hey, how we looking?
Looking, I guess, trying to become a dough. It's going to be a thick dough, I feel like. So.
Yeah, it said it was going to be a thick dough. Until a thick dough is formed. Yes.
I feel like at some point we're going to have to get our hands dirty.
Yeah, unfortunately. Oh, let me feel.
This, ooh, that feels gunky. So much of that in there. There we go.
There we go. Starting to look good.
I got all those crumbs.
There we go. Let's get all this together. I'm actually really excited to try this.
I know.
I've been wanting to make this for so long. Yes, the Lord of the Rings fan has not made lemon spread yet.
Today is that day. So. I keep bringing that quote up so much.
I love that quote. We got our dough made now, so we're gonna, instead of me using a rolling pin, because I don't think they had rolling pins back then, so I'm just pat her out. I mean, maybe
I feel like they would. It's just wood, isn't it?
they probably used a tree branch.
No, I'm sure the elves probably had some fancy,
Probably.
very nice, exquisite rolling pins. I'm sure the hobbits did too.
And Sam would have carried one. He'd use that as a weapon. Second. Frying pan first, then the what is? Rolling pin. Okay, it says about half an inch. Okay. There we go. Probably gonna get 8.
It's fine. Or 9, since there was 9 in the fellowship. You want to get
Well, unfortunately, Boromir passed, so he doesn't get Lembas.
spoilers? Actually, this movie's been out for years. The books have been out for years. So.
Okay. Actually, I'm gonna shape them just a little bit. Like, I'll keep them that thin, but I'm gonna shape them a little bit. You can shape. Yeah, I just wanted to cut them to see what they would look like. I don't want to shape them to look like that triangy, rectangy type shape.
Or you're not cutting them in half, you're making them.
Yeah, I'm just making the little thing. Because in the books, so as you can see, I'm making these little like cross gashes. So in the movies and the books, when they had it, I would assume that they would have like a big chunk of the Lembas bread, and then because of the cuts and stuff, they would break it. They would break it off, and then they would eat it. Okay, so we got our dough done. Now we're gonna head over to the stovetop, and we'll see you right over there.
We had our second breakfast, so it's quite lovely. But now we're going to start preparing soup for lunch, especially potato soup.
Potatoes. Alrighty, so Jen is gonna go ahead and peel the potatoes. She's gonna start peeling potatoes. I am going to chop 1 onion. I'm gonna do a small dice on this, and then once Jen has her potatoes peeled, she's gonna cut them into like a large dice, and I'll show her what I mean.
What you need.
What do you think?
That's good.
Okay, we'll do that then. Trying to hurry up with these onions. Holy spit takes. Glad I said 1 onion.
I know. We found the biggest onion that we could find. like one onion to rule them all. I'm an onion main. You okay? You need to go outside?
I'm good.
Not too bad over here.
I'm done chopping. It's just
It's over in my corner now. Maybe we can move it to the stove. Just stay strong. Stay strong for Rohan.
Nana Rohan! Okay. I'm good now. Usually I'll just stick my head in the freezer or something.
Freeze them out.
Alrighty, we have all of our potatoes and onion in here. So now we're gonna rinse these off really, really well. We're gonna take them to the stove, put it on medium low. We're gonna add some chicken broth to it as well. And then we're just gonna let it simmer for about 30 to 45 minutes until the potatoes are nice and tender.
That's good. We'll see this in a bit.
Okay, so we are going to be doing a different version of the Lembas bread. The recipe said baked, but we're going to be grilling them. So I got my pan here, nice and hot. It's going to get nice and hot. We're just going to add a teeny bit of oil. Just a little bit. Let it do its thing. Nice and hot. Beautiful. And we're just going to put them on in there. Alright, so I have a few in the pan. You don't want to overcrowd your pan. That's a big no-no. They're not going to cook evenly if you overcrowd it. So we're going to let them cook for about a couple minutes on one side, flip them over, do a couple more minutes on the other side until they're nice and golden brown. Lembas bread has been going for about 2-3 minutes, so now time to flip them. Well, we'll just call that. Well, they definitely look rustic. Alrighty, well, while those are going to finish cooking, in this pan, I'm going to go ahead and make the bechamel or roux mixture for the potato soup, which has been going on for the last 30-45 minutes. So in here, I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of butter. Oh, muffins. Let this go for a little bit. Looks like the Lembas bread is done. Okay, so I have the rest of the Lembas bread in here, and my butter is mostly melted. Something about melted butter always makes it feel good. Alrighty. Let's do this in 1 minute. 2 seconds. Alright, so now to my flour, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of flour. I'm used to saying 4 tablespoons. With roux, you always want to do a 1:1 ratio. So if you're using 4 tablespoons of butter, 4 tablespoons of flour, same thing even if you're doing bigger batches. So we're going to let this cook for just a second, just a minute. There we go. Okay. Looking good. So now we're going to add the sour cream. And this is a 1/4 cup of sour cream. And melt it a little bit. And then we're going to add 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream to it. Ah. There we go. Alrighty, we went ahead and flipped the Lembas spread. Gonna give that another minute or two. Now I'm just gonna give the sauce a little bit of a stir. So we're gonna stir up this until it gets nice and thick. And then once this is nice and thick, we'll add it to our soup. Now we're just gonna pour this into here. Okay, so we're gonna let this go for a few minutes with the lid off. Let it cook for a few minutes and then we'll be ready to plate. Alrighty, so we have our Lembas spread all done. It smells so good. And we're kind of taking a quote from Sean Astin about the strawberries and cream. So we're gonna have them with some strawberries and cream. So I'm just gonna take a little bite. Cheers. I like the cinnamon and the brown sugar in that. That's really good.
And that's it. One small bite, fill a man's stomach.
Use
it, and then you get strawberries in here. It's been a while since I've had strawberries and cream. I was like, whoa, what is this flavor? But yeah, it's really good.
This is really good on a hot day. Just strawberries with cream, and it's also a healthy dessert too.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get this scooted away so we can then serve lunch.
Yay! Alrighty, so we have our potato soup all finished. It smells delicious. We also have some more Lembas spread for us because I made a little too much. So let's tuck in, shall we?
Good. Trying to get a potato. They're fighting back.
The potatoes are fighting. That is delicious.
So good. Potatoes, mash them.
Boil, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Yep. Thank you so much with them. So, okay. Speaking of, while we're having lunch, we have another question, which is Zoe's back for her 5 minutes of fame. We have another question for you all and for everyone else here, which is, what are your top 3 favorite characters from The Lord of the Rings and Hobbit?
Okay, so mine are very, I had crushes when growing up with these characters. Frodo Baggins, Legolas, and I did love Eowyn as a character. She was amazing and everything like that. I love Legolas because I love his bow and arrow. He didn't really say much to Frodo, but he was always there for them. Frodo I love because even though, he thought something was difficult, he still kept pushing and still worked on his goal to destroy something that was dangerous. And then Eowyn I really enjoyed because she was basically the lady of Rohirrim. She had this role and was trying to show people just because I'm a lady doesn't mean I can't do things like men can do. And it's like that in the chef world. Women are looked down upon in the chef world, but there's more and more chef ladies out there, and girl power.
Yes.
And what are your top 3?
Top 3, boy. Pippin is one of my favorites. Whenever I take the personality test and everything, I always get Pippin took. So I don't know why. Arwen. Lady Arwen. I love her. I love her actress and everything. So, and Bilbo from The Hobbit, him going on his adventure.
I'm going on an adventure.
That's me every morning going to work. So, but yeah, and even coming up here, I was going on an adventure. So, those are our top three. We're going to go ahead and finish eating lunch, and then we'll get set up for our next meal. Right, lunch was delicious. It's been a few hours, so now we're going to move into tea time, which we're going to start with our bottom layer, which are the sandwiches. So what sandwiches will we be making for
for tea
time?
tea
time.
For tea time. Yes. So we are doing a capri sandwich with a pesto mayo, a cucumber dill cream cheese sandwich, and we are doing a cream cheese and jelly one, just like a little sweet one as well. So let's go ahead and get our ingredients and start working. We are going to be going ahead and making our sandwiches. Jen is doing the caprese one with the pesto mayo, and then I'm going to be making the cream cheese dill one and cucumber, as well as the cream cheese and jelly one.
So pesto mayo goes on first?
Yep, just a little bit on both sides.
Both sides?
Yeah. We did it with balsamic. We had like a balsamic reduction that we done on both sides, but which was really good. Okay. So. Alrighty, we have our sandwiches made. Now we're just gotta cut them up. So I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna cut mine into 4s. And Jen, if you just want to cut yours like straight down the middle, diagonal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cucumber new. Alright. All set.
Done at the same time, right?
Yay.
Alright.
We got our sandwiches cut up. Now we just got to put everything together and we will be ready for tea. One does not simply sit down to eat without first washing their hands. Okay, come on, let's eat.
Little plates of food to nibble upon while we answer our next question, which is where in Middle Earth, so Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, where would you like to visit?
Rivendell. Sorry, that's a no-brainer. I really just want to go to Rivendell because I would love to see the library in the Lord of the Rings, that library that King Elrond has, Lord Elrond has. I love the library, but also too, I would love to see the garden, and I would love to see the kitchen. I always pictured like the kitchen would be open aired, like into the garden, and like, you know, you see all the bubbling pots and pans, they're making everything, but it's also next to the garden where they're getting all their fresh herbs and all kinds of different stuff. I just want to visit there because of the gardens and things like that. So where would you like to travel to?
The Shire. Visit the hobbits and the festivals and parties and everything.
Oh, the parties would be lovely.
Different things. Of course, eating like this, I would be.
I would gain back my 40 pounds I lost.
So, I remember like growing up, I wanted to go to like the place that was near like Mordor.
Minas Tirith.
Minas Tirith, is that it? Yeah, for some reason I wanted to visit there when I was younger, and I'm like, it's like right there.
Yeah,
like,
so it was Minas Tirith because it was next to Gondor, but it was before Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
It was like miles away from Helm's Deep, but yeah, Minas Tirith would be a nice place. Also, too, I just want to visit the hall where Aragorn got crowned.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. So we're gonna enjoy our tea party, and then we'll get ready for dinner.
Okay, everyone. So we are going to now start our roast beef that we prepared last night. we're going to go ahead and get that going for tonight's dinner. So in my pan, I'm getting it up to medium-high heat. Starting to get a little warm, so that's good right there. Next, we're gonna just add a little bit of oil. Actually, I'm gonna use some garlic oil that my husband and I made. Gives it a little more flavor. I don't know if Balin made garlic oil though. It'd be nice if he did. Okay, so we're gonna get that pan nice and hot. Getting nice and hot now. Now we get to take our beef out. Oh, it smells so good. You can definitely smell the cinnamon to it. Okay, so we're gonna brown it on each side about 3 to 4 minutes once it's nice and golden brown, and we'll just let it be. Alrighty, so this has been nicely seared. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna take it out of the pan. Come on, muscles. There we go. Yum. Oh. Gosh, I love the smell of roasty. Alright, so what we're going to do next is I'm just going to smear the pan around. I'm going to add half a cup of red wine cooking vinegar and half a cup of beef broth. Pour this into the pan. Just be careful. There we go. Now we're going to let this reduce for just a couple minutes. Once it's reduced, then we will add our meat back. A little stir. So right now I'm trying to get all those different flavors that the beef that cooked off from the beef. We're trying to get it into the broth and the red wine cooking wine. So that way, it'll taste really, really good. So this cooked for about a minute. We're gonna go ahead, add our beef back. Add our beef back. And now we're going to add some veggies that Jen was cutting up for me. We have some onion, some carrots, a bit of garlic for some flavor, and potatoes. We'll go ahead and add all that. Okay. Now we're just going to add some salt and pepper. Give the vegetables a little flavor. And then we have some thyme here, because this is definitely going to take time to cook. Got that. 1 bay leaf. Now we're just going to add a little water to this. Oh, make sure you turn off your stove. Add some water to cover. There we go. Now I'm going to take this out. Now we're just going to put a lid on top of this. And now this is going to be in the oven at 300 degrees for about 4 to 5 hours.
All right, tea party is complete. We filled up on all of that, so we're starting our dinner prep. Speaking of which, what is this bowl of apples doing here?
We are going to be making a French dessert called an apple tarte tatin. It's basically a caramel upside down apple pie. I've made the recipe a couple times before. The last couple times I made it with puff pastry. Didn't really like it. So I found out you can do it with pie crust, which if you're on a budget or something, pie crust is definitely a cheaper option. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to the stove and start preparing it. Over here, we are going to start making the apple tarte tatin. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take half a cup of sugar and put it in our pan. Now I have it set for medium heat. So we're going to put the sugar in. And then we're just going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. Now, it called for 3 tablespoons. I'm just doing 2 because my apples have a little bit of lemon juice in it, and if you add too much liquid to it, the sugar isn't going to combine together. So we're just going to give this a lovely little stir. Give it a nice little stir. Now, what you're going to do, now this takes a lot of patience. You got to be very patient with this. So basically what you're doing is you're drying out the sugar now. And then once we'll see that it's going to turn white here in a little bit once there's more heat. So while that's working, I'm going to go ahead and start rolling out my pie crust. So lightly dust your flour board. Lightly flour your dust. Let me flour this. Put a little flour on this. And we're just going to roll this out. And you want to make it about 1/4 inch thick. So I made this a little bit bigger. So over here I have a greased cake pan, and I'm just gonna leave this where it is. And you want it a little bit bigger than your cake pan because you're gonna tuck the pie crust around the edges. Now for the fun part, we get to poke holes in this. Actually, Jen, would you like to come and do this? All right, so yeah, you're just gonna, yeah, just all over. This is gonna help prevent air bubbles from forming into the pie crust, and it's gonna, help air escape. While you're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and stir this up. Oh, that looks great. Thank you. Okay, so right now it's doing some crystallization. We're gonna let it cook for another minute or 2. And then once it turns into this light, beautiful golden amber color, we're then gonna add some butter to it. Okay, so now that the caramel is that beautiful brown color, it does take a while and you have to be very patient with it. We're gonna go ahead and add our butter. Alrighty. Now that we have our butter mostly melted, which looks divine, we're going to go ahead and add our apples. Now you're going to want to cook these for about 15-20 minutes until they're bathed in caramel sauce. And then once these are bathed, we'll go ahead and transfer them to our cake pan that we just greased. Alrighty, so we have our apples in our pan. I'm gonna go ahead, finish this up, make it look pretty. Now what we're gonna do next is we're gonna put our pie crust that we rolled out, put it on top, and then we're gonna tuck in the edges. And you wanna make sure you get it all the way around and in, so that way as the apples cook, it's going to cook around the pie crust just like it would for an apple pie, but upside down. Alrighty, this looks fabulous. Alright, now we're just going to stick it in the oven. We have it still set at 300 with the roast beef. Our apple tarte tatin is in the oven, and that is smelling delicious, as well as the roast beef. But now we need to make some side dishes to go with dinner tonight. So Jen is going to be doing roasted veggies, and I am making some mashed potatoes.
So while we're peeling and chopping and all that good stuff, we have another question, which is, what is your favorite Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit soundtrack or music?
I really do love the Return of the King soundtrack. That one is definitely my favorite. I will say that. I do like Viggo Mortensen's Lambert, and I also love Billy Boyd's soundtrack as well. The music and everything, it was so good during that one.
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite soundtrack?
Yeah, I like Pippin's song, "Edge of the World." That was really beautifully sung. I like Concerning Hobbits, like The Shire. It just feels so homey. I don't know, such a good one. And then like the main theme, like you get so excited and like hearing it.
As soon as it turns on, it's like
you know how to find the Lord of the Rings fans. We all start just freaking out.
Or Shadowfaxes, when as soon as Gandalf does the whistle, I could be dead asleep, and 2 towers will be playing, and as soon as I hear Gandalf's whistle, my eyes instantly awake, and then it's like, okay, time for bathroom.
Yeah.
Good.
Any more?
Alrighty, so Jen has all the veggies cut up. She's gonna go ahead and coat them with some salt, pepper, and a little bit of oil. I'm gonna go ahead and get water in my potatoes and get them to the stove as quickly as possible.
Phew, that is everything. I wonder what's taking Jen so long. I better go find out.
Baggins.
Whoa, what do you want?
Ring.
I don't know why you want this, but here. Whew, that takes care of that. I'm gonna go find Jen.
Oof, I feel pretty groggy. Did something happen to me while I was away?
Not really. Here, you'll feel better after you eat something.
Potatoes again? Didn't we just have potatoes?
We had 1 potato, yes. But now it's time for second potatoes. Come on, let's eat.
Okay, so everything is delicious. I've already finished off a little bit of my mashed potatoes. So yes, we have another question while we're feasting, which is, what Lord of the Rings meme is your favorite?
Probably the one does not simply.
Oh, yeah.
That is my favorite. And the reason why I like that one is because it's so versatile. You can do it with anything. You can do it with cats, dogs, anything like that. But also too, that whole entire scene with Sean Bean doing that. He had to memorize his lines the day before, but he couldn't memorize everything. So the reason why he was looking down is because he had the words taped to his leg, and I'm like, sounds so funny. And Sean Bean's an amazing actor, and he's awesome with everything he does. But yeah, so the one does not simply, that is my favorite. And what is your favorite meme?
Oh gosh, the one where Gandalf like wanders into like the 2 tunnel places things, and he's like, I have no memory of this place. That is me 20 times in a day. I have no memory, like why I walked into a room, why I'm doing something, why did I open up that computer tab. I am Gandalf. And then I'll finally remember and everything, but yeah. Because when I was rewatching this series, I was like, oh my gosh, that's a meme. That's a meme. That's a meme.
That's a meme.
So I thought it was a fun question to put in there.
Yeah, I do like that meme too, because that's like me half the time. I'm like, wait, was I doing this or was I doing that?
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and finish feasting and we'll see what happens.
One more thing that we need to do.
Oh, yes. One more thing.
to all the actors and actresses that made Lord of the Rings complete, and to all those who are still with us and no longer. Hail.
But we just got done with our dinner, which was super, super good. Our tarte tatin has been cooling. It looks fabulous. Now time for the best part, the reveal. So I'm gonna go ahead. 3, 2, 1. Come on. It's thinking about it. Exactly. It looks fabulous. I love it. Oh, it's so Alright, so we're gonna let it cool for a little bit before we slice into it, and we'll see in a bit with the rest.
And here's our supper. So we have a lovely charcuterie board and of course the apple tarte tatin. And we also have one more question, which is our last one, being if you had the one ring, what would you do with it?
Destroy it.
It's so cool. Not me. I would hide it. Just like keep it far, far away, like buried in a little treasure box in the middle of nowhere. No hints, no nothing.
Put it in the bottom of the ocean?
Maybe. Like Erebos' prison?
Erebos.
Yeah. Exactly.
I would probably just like grab a few people and tell me, or do the one thing, just take a bow and arrow and see if it will shoot all the way to Mordor and destroy itself.
Whatever works. So, but I enjoyed the feast quite much today. We were able to prepare and taste many different types of food.
Yes, I did too. What's nice about the foods is that you can portion them out and freeze them up for a few months, and then when you're ready to eat any leftovers or have your own little mini feast, you can pull it out, put it in the fridge for a day or two, and then just heat it up whenever you're ready to eat it.
Sounds like an excellent plan. Speaking of plans, we have our next couple of videos lined up, but as always, we like to ask viewers, if you have any ideas of fandom-related foods that we can create in the kitchen, please be sure to leave a comment down below. For today, though, I want to give a heartfelt thank you to Chef Emerick for lending us her kitchen as well as her recipes.
Aw, thank you. I enjoyed having you in my kitchen and definitely having another food adventure, and I'm super excited for the next one.
Yes, so thank you everyone for watching the YouTube video. As always, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more fandom-related content, and to leave a kind comment down below. Greatly appreciate it. Also, please be sure to follow Chef Emerick on all of her socials. I'm sure she'd greatly appreciate it as well. We will see you in the kitchen next time.
Bye, everyone!